Okay, here's the deal. One of the most important things to remember in a job search is that the process is about elimination, not selection, particularly at the start of a job search. Now, this is incredibly important if you are going through a traditional application process where the employer is going to get hundreds, maybe even thousands of resumes, because if you think about it, they may have one job opening, yet thousands of resumes to review. And this is where the elimination part comes in. They have to narrow that stack down to a smaller number to be able to phone screen. And then they have to narrow that group down to a smaller number to even bring into the office, perhaps for interviews. So when you think about this process, the mindset of how the brain works in terms of eliminating versus selecting is very different. So one of the things you want to do is make sure that you target your audience and that your material is as relevant as possible so you don't get eliminated in those early stages and you make it to get in front of the decision makers. Now, a great way to do that is to skip the online applications altogether and use your network so you're certain that you get a referral and your resume personally shepherded to the hiring manager. But if you don't have that type of access, some of the other things you want to consider are don't put everything and anything on your resume. I know it could be tempting to say, well, I'm going to just put all of my skills out here so that the hiring team can pick and choose what is going to make the most sense for the job. But the fact is, they're not going to spend that kind of time reviewing your credentials at this stage. So your great information in terms of relevancy to the job may get lost in all of this other information, and you'll likely get overlooked because it's really difficult to tell where you fit, and they have to do a lot of work to figure that out. So definitely be careful not to put every single thing on you've done on your resume, but rather tailor it and pick and choose those things that are most relevant to the job you're applying for, not necessarily what's most impressive. And what I mean by that is many of us default to the achievements and the accomplishments that got us to where we are today because we are proud of them and they worked for us before. But especially if you're making a switch or if the market has changed significantly, some of those skills that may be most impressive may not be most relevant in the first stages of the process. And if you don't have what's most relevant in the early stages, that's an easy way to eliminate you. So think about your resume, think about your LinkedIn profile, and really think about your audience for that target job you're looking for and say, what do they want to see? What's most relevant? You can often find that in the job description. They're pretty clear about what's at the top, front and center, and what's required versus preferred and what they're looking for. So to the extent that you can focus on that type of supporting information is going to increase your chances of getting to the next level. So as you create your job search strategy, think about the process as elimination first, not selection, and make sure you put together a campaign that is very targeted towards your audience so that you don't get eliminated in the early process, but in fact, show them relevant information that makes them want to take you to the next level.